Okay, so it's a nice sunny day. It's 4 degrees Celsius. So what's that? Around high 30s, low 40s. Uh, it is in this area, so it's low wind. I'm going to do a couple of things. On this side here, I want to reduce it by 1 box. Remember, the top box here is full of insulation. This one has a double, it's a double 8. So I do want to remove that. So I'll remove the lower one and then I'll consolidate frames. So I'll look around for a piece of plywood to put on the ground so I keep everything out of the snow. As you can see too, the entrances are full of poop. I can't do much about that right now, but what I will do is on this one here, I want to continue my experiment. So I'm going to pull the insulation out of that screen bottom board. So this year I don't have my pieces of plywood. Everything's just held together with that strap. So I'm going to go in on that side, go underneath and just pull the bubble foil wrap just to see how it behaves. If it's nice tomorrow, I'll probably put some fondant on. Just to get them, it's fondant with Hive Alive, so just to give them a boost of that to help flush their system, because there's probably another week where they'll get some cleansing, and then they're calling for cooling down again. So yeah, so I'm gonna hurry through this yard, and then I'm gonna drive over to my other yard, and there is more critical because there's a lot more volumes over here. So this one here has a deep with the medium, and that'll be my setup. So I don't have these 8 boxes in a medium, so it's just going to go as a single. But in the other yard, my goal is to bring them all to a deep with a medium. I'll use some honey frames just to start prepping them for my long departure from I'm leaving from late March to mid-May. And just before I leave in March, I'm going to go in and put 2-3 pounds of pollen patties, get the brood rearing going, get them started. Reason I want smaller volume is so that they can keep themselves warm. You'll see when I do pull the top box off, this bottom box will probably have quite a bit of poop on the frames. And you can see right now, this one here has bees at the entrance and a bit more activity, and this one doesn't. I know it's still alive because it's about 25 degrees up above that second box. So yeah, the goal is to consolidate, lower the volume because the cluster will be small. Because you can so this year there was quite a bit of bee mortality because of bees having to poop and hole their guts. So bees were pretty much using their bodies as waste storage. And then when they couldn't take it anymore, they'd fly out and die. So that's the challenge with a winter like this year, with the, I guess, the fall feed was in nature was high in things that the bees can't digest. So hence the reason there's a lot of dysentery. Luckily, this one has a few. I took 20 some bees. I squished them. There's a bit of Nosema in this one. Very, very slight. Nothing to worry about. This one here is completely clean. Haven't seen any Nosema yet this year, so I'm quite happy. And in the other yard, there is, I guess, medium to light Nosema in both colonies. So hence, this is one reason I want to consolidate. And if I do get warm tomorrow, I'll probably change out that bottom entrance or that bottom board and replace it with a clean one. So anyways, that's my goal, and hopefully I can get it done. And the goal is quick, check the frames out, put heavy frames on the outside. So I won't really take much time to explain it because I just have to go and do it. So the goal is to take honey frames, probably a good, hopefully I have at least 4 good honey frames. I'll get to check the stores, see how it's going. And then goal is to have at least 2 heavy honey frames on the outside, which should give them plenty of energy for the spring. And then maybe If there is any pollen in there, I'll put those next, and then some drawn frames in the middle. But I'm going to try to keep the nest as intact as possible, and the goal is not to mess around too much. So anyways, let's go. Okay, so you can see one reason I do like open screen bottom boards, which I'll start doing again, is there is ice buildup in the bottom here, and it'll stay frozen well into spring if I don't actually clear and take some insulation off. So you can see why this bottom box here actually becomes a cooler box, and it prevents the bees from actually going through it because it is insulated. So the bees actually can't penetrate because it's too cold. So it becomes an ice box. So it's actually counterproductive. Okay, so you can see the box is doing right well. So there's quite a lot of bees in there, so it's great. So let's so the goal is to try to not disturb them too much because they will succumb. And you can see right here, it's pooped on my phone already. This one here pooped on my glove. So the bees in there, their guts are full and they're probably having trouble penetrating the bottom box. So let's clear it. So actually it's quite good. Lots of bees. So I'm going to check below this box just to see how it's going. Okay, yeah, I will do it. Might as well clean the bottom board. So it's not actually that bad. I put this back down. I'm going to use this box as a funnel while to get all those bees into one box. And then I can look at those frames and see how they're doing. And you can see a bunch of bees there on my sensor. It's the 25 degrees. Make sure the queen's not there. Folks, this is what a good overwintered colony looks here. So they've been in this box without any cleansing flight since last week, since September. And this is what good winter prep looks like. Even though I see the poop, I see lots of dead bees in front. You can see there probably are creating bees. So the goal is just pack them up and go from there. It's better to do it now. And let's do that and start chicken some bees in there. Oh, suit. Okay. Shim. And we put this piece on. And the other ones I'll just sweep them to the front. So you can see I'm killing some bees, but it's for the greater good. And then just add the insulation. Okay, now we're back to very insulated. Not sure how much of that you saw, but yeah. Okay, so she's back closed. Took about 10 minutes to do. I'm not sure how good the footage is, but yeah, overall it was pretty good. Quite a few bees left in there. Now they have a smaller volume to manage. I'll just put the insulation back on the side there, and they should be good. And I guess the other thing I'll do too is I'll prep this box, clean them up. See, there is some poop on the top there. I'll test that to see how much, if there's any infections in it. But I'll prep a box like this to put on top of that before I leave for my trip in about 27 days. So it'll coincide. I'll put that box and then I'll throw in some pollen patties, and the goal is getting the queen to come up. But anyways, cheers.